You need a good laugh, spirit lifted, support or encouragement. You are in the right place with Dani Direct.
Hi, how you doing out there? It's your girl Dani with a little pop up. Yes, we are here tonight, and boy, oh boy, do I have a show for you. You guys have been asking about financial literacy, and guess what? We have a doctor in the house. Everybody say, doctor in the house. Yes. Dr. Joseph Peters is here in the virtual studio on tonight. Let me tell you, he has a story, he has some knowledge, and he has some nuggets that he is ready to drop on us. So without further ado, I am going to bring him in, but let me tell you a little bit about him. Yes, Dr. Peters, he specializes in applying his expertise of investing knowledge, providing his financial opinion for people in various stages of life. So no matter where you find yourself, he has some advice for you. His focus is offering suggestions and alternatives in growing wealth and preservation of wealth. Oh, listen, you can get it, but can you keep it? Oh, yes. Dr. Peters has a disciplined approach to helping people spend without incurring debt. It is an essential factor for success in life. So listen, I'm not going to be before you. I'm going to bring him on so that he can tell you all about how to get that paper. Yes. Yes. You're muted.
Hold on a second. Okay, there we go.
There you go.
Yes. How's it going? Hey, how's it going?
I am doing well. Everything is great. We're even better now that you are here.
All right.
Yes.
We have any viewers yet? We have any viewers yet?
We do. We have some viewers. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we do. They're here. They're popping in. You know, I'm going to go ahead and get things started. I'm going to greet everybody. Tell them to send their questions in, and you'll be able to see them on the screen.
Okay.
Yep. Yes. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, let me see where I started. Let me see. Well, I know Renita from the military. I was a young buck then. Yeah, so I did a little time in the service. Then I got out of military, and I went to college for a couple of years, about 10 years, and I got educated in business and finance and everything. And I applied a lot of that stuff I learned to the real world. and I done real well for myself in real estate and investing money into the stock market.
Yes, I've seen quite a few of your houses.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, they're not like the typical little flip shacks.
No,
They
no.
are.
Now,
Yes,
when I buy them, they are. But when I get through with
right,
them,
right.
yeah. And that goes
Very nice.
back to one of the things I believe in, passive income. You know,
Okay.
one of the things I live behind is passive income. I believe in that's how you should pay for things in life that you enjoy, like a car or a vacation or just whatever you do in life. I believe that your job, if you have a job, should be for investing, and then you take the passive income to do the things that you like to have fun. And that's one of the ways you can gain wealth by doing that. But
So
so many
you said your
people
job should be for investing.
investing, yeah, but so many
Mhm.
people, you know, they live off their job, and their income is tied up with debt and bills and things. So you don't have money to invest because when you get paid, you got to pay the car note, you got to pay the credit card, you have all these bills, but you have to get all that freed up so you can have more money to invest to gain wealth. You'll never get rich like that.
Oh,
You'll
listen,
always be in a hole.
woo, you dropping you
Yeah,
hold
yeah,
on to
yeah,
those
yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah,
People, listen. I need you
yeah,
guys to share, invite someone in.
yeah.
We have to get this information and we have to share it with everyone. This is not something that you want to keep to yourself. If you
Right,
know someone that's struggling, hey Yomi, how you doing? If you know someone that's struggling, someone that needs help, or think about you, think about where you want to be. Do you want to
right,
keep working for someone else? Or would you
right,
prefer, hello, Valerie, how are you? Or would you prefer to start your own business and get out there and make some real money? This
right,
class is for you. I'm telling you, you don't want to miss it. Share it with
right.
your family, your friends. She's good. How are you? I am doing well. Excited
How you
about
doing,
all of
Yomi?
this. Yes, yes. Miss Valerie, all of you business owners, I'm telling you, you don't want to miss this class. Please like and share and follow Dr. Peters.
Yes.
Could you tell us, could you type in and share how we can follow you?
I mean, you can follow me on Facebook. I mean, it's just Joseph Peters on Facebook. I'm on there with Renita. You could a lot of my real estate stuff is on there. Some of it I share some of the things I do on there, but they could follow me on there or you know, inbox me if they have questions about stuff after today.
You definitely want to follow him. Definitely. When I look at
Right.
myself, my face is twisted.
It's
All
okay.
right, come on in the room. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. Okay, so just a little bit ago, you was telling us about passive income. Could you
Right.
revisit that and go a little further with that?
Yeah, you know, the thing is with passive income is that's the way that you it's basically it's basically additional income that you can earn without really doing anything for it. But the thing is in order to get to a place where you can generate passive income, you're going to have to get yourself the way you have minimal expenses at home, get your debts paid down, so you can invest your 9 to 5 income into tools that create passive income. And for me, one of the tools I use is real estate, because in order to become a millionaire, you're going to need multiple streams of income. And one of my streams of income I use is real estate.
Okay, so you said in order to even generate passive income, you have to get your debts down. What's a way
Yes.
for us to get our debts down?
Lifestyle. I mean, lifestyle is one. I mean, things that you do every day that you don't even think, like you probably go to Starbucks. You might get your hair done 3 or 4 times a month. Cut it down. I mean, you have to go through your budget and find the things you have that you waste money on. It could be Netflix. It could be HBO Max. It's just go through your budget, and the little things that you don't need, you have to be able to cut them out. And when you cut all that stuff out, you start generating more income in your budget, and you could take that money to invest. But the thing is, you have to cut the luxuries out, and that's hard. I mean, it's really hard. I mean, I could tell you something personal about myself. I remember I was in Nashville, Tennessee, and I was in an apartment, and my brother came to see me one time, and it was an okay area. But the thing is that I knew I had forecasted, so I knew where I was going. I knew what I was trying to do. So at the time, it was probably like a C-rated apartment, but I lived there. And at the time, I probably had about $700,000 saved up, and my brother didn't even know. And he was like, why are you living here? I had a bigger picture. I had a bigger picture. But the thing is, I could have been down there balling out and doing crazy stuff, but I had the discipline to just live very meager because I knew where I want to be like in the next 5 years. But he didn't know that, but I did.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So in your bio, you said you have a very disciplined approach to investing. So some of the things you're saying is cutting the luxuries out, eating out, getting your hair, nails done.
Right.
Now not devil's advocate, but someone will say to you, well, I don't want to just work and not enjoy any of my money.
Okay. Well, the thing is this: you can work forever and retire broke. Because the thing is, it's easy to earn a paycheck for 30 years versus becoming a boss. If you don't find a way to earn money while you sleep, you will become insolvent in retirement and a burden on society.
Ooh! Oh, you're speaking doctor words. Yes.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
Yes. So you can work for 30 years.
Right.
And retire broke. And
a lot of people do it. 7 out of 10 people are broke. 7 out of 10 people in the United States of America are broke in the richest country in the world. Yeah. And
would you say, if we're being honest, because we're unfiltered, would you say that is because we of poor choices? Or
I would say it's lack of knowledge, and also I think that people they don't know how to delay gratification. That's the biggest thing. If you can learn how to delay gratification, I'm telling you, if you just set your life aside for 10 years, especially the people who are young, like in your 20s or 30s, if you just set yourself aside for 10 years, just set aside the new cars and the vacation and stuff, there's no reason why you couldn't be a millionaire. There's no reason why you couldn't become a millionaire. It's easy. And I'm gonna tell you something. If you could save $100,000, you could save $1 million. It's harder to save $100,000 than it is to save $1 million. Because the road to 100,000, you'll get pulled. People go, there's things you're going to do. People trying to go buy this car, or people borrowing money from you, or whatever frivolous thing you're trying to do. But if you can have the discipline to save 100,000, you can hit $1 million. And once you hit $1 million, you'll hit your second million. You hit the second million faster than you hit the first.
You speaking my language now.
I'm telling you, it's not that hard once you get yourself on track, but you got to have the discipline first.
Okay.
Because
how does one get to a place where they are, because it's a learned behavior. How do I begin to discipline myself?
I mean, you just have. It's all about choices. I mean, you got to think. Where do you want to be in 5 or 10 years? I mean, do you still want to be in the same situation you are now? That could be check or in debt, or do you want to be in a place where you have financial freedom? When you have financial freedom, you know what I mean? Because the thing is, once you have that financial freedom, you can do anything you want to do. I mean, there's no place in the world I can't go tomorrow, or there's nothing I really can't do, and I'm under 40 years old. I mean, it's a good feeling to have, and it's just all about how bad do you want to get there.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about budget.
Okay.
What exactly is a budget?
I mean, everybody needs to have a budget. I mean, regardless of whatever your situation is, you have to have a written budget. Get your Excel spreadsheet, because you have to know what's coming in and what's going out. I mean, you have to do that. And that's how you
I like to say written budget.
Yes. You and your spouse or boyfriend or whatever you got going on. And I'm not a relationship advice person, but the only thing I can tell you is is that if you are in a relationship with somebody, you guys got to be on the same page financially. I mean, you got to be on the same page financially, or it probably ain't gonna work. You know what I mean? That's the only relationship advice I would give.
Yeah. On the same page, does that mean financially on the same page?
Yes.
Or mentally on the same page?
Well, financially on the same page. I mean, you could the incomes can be different, which a lot of times it is, but you got to have somewhat similar goals. Like, I look at it. You get with your mate or whatever. Where do we want to be in 5 years? Where do we want to be in 10 years? I mean, you can't be over here and that person's over there. That's it's like oil and water. It's not gonna mix. Y'all have to somewhat be on the same page and work together as a unit to get there. Because a married couple, man, your guys can take over the world. You got 2 incomes in one house. It should be nothing that you couldn't do.
Okay.
I mean, because the thing is, if I was married, I mean, one thing I would do if I was married, I would live off one income. I would live off one income. The thing is that, we will sit down and, what do we not need? I will make those cuts, save one income, live off the other. You could become rich really fast like that. Yeah.
Listen.
Because why? Yeah. Because the thing, why y'all spend everything you got coming in the house is going right out the door. It makes no sense. You live in hood rich. It doesn't make any sense. Right.
Okay. So living hood rich.
Right.
Now, something you said about living off of one income. So a couple will say, well, it takes both of our incomes to make it. What does that mean?
No, it don't. You can make it off one, but the thing is you have to make those cuts. Like, you have to sacrifice something. You got to sacrifice something. I mean, there's things that you guys do, whether it's go on vacations, like I said, eat out. What kind of car you got? Do you need a Mercedes? You don't need a Mercedes to go to work. Who at work are you trying to impress? Who knows you on the highway? I mean, you can go get a way cheaper car to drive every day. Cut down on the clothes you wear. I mean, you're wearing nice dress shoes, those nice purses. I see people all the time that wear nice stuff. I don't know them. I keep walking, I mean, but you can make those cuts in your clothes and stuff. I mean, you can make the cuts if you want to make them. We all can make them.
So listen, here's a personal moment, because you speaking to me. My desire, I have 5 years. That's what I told myself. Right. In 5 years, I need to be self-sufficient. I don't want to be working for anyone. I want my money to work for me. So, okay. So you have a car now. Probably don't need the car. Probably can downgrade.
Yeah.
Is that a wise investment to trade that car in for a less expensive car?
I mean, if you could trade in or sell it, I mean, I would probably say sell it where you don't take a loss, because you trade cars and a lot of times you have that negative equity and stuff. They wrap it into the other car. So if you could sell it and get out of it, that would be great. And then maybe go buy something cheaper. But the thing is, what you want to do with a car is, I would recommend, if you're going to buy a car, is to buy that car and keep it for 10 years. Go get your new car that's reliable, keep it for 10 years, and then pay it off, and then drive it for 5 years paid for. Versus just always upgrading your car every couple of years and stuff. Because you're going to stay inside of a car payment. And I'll give you an example of this. I mean, most people that own this thing, I'm pretty sure, have had vehicles or not. So the average car payment is, let's say, it's $600 over 72 months, right? Mm-hmm. So if you took that same $600 and you invested it into a growth stock mutual fund at an average rate of 12% over a 30-year time period, you would have $2.1 million over 30 years.
Slow down. Hold on. We may be a little challenged. We may be a little remedial. We can't let this information pass us by. Pause. Right. Hold on. Still on the growth mutual. What is it?
Growth stock mutual funds.
Tell us about
growth stock. This basically is mutual funds that are designed to grow your investment, to build your wealth. So if you just invested that money into a growth stock mutual fund over 30 years, you would have $2.1 million in that fund at the end of that time.
Okay.
And the thing about it, you've probably bought 6 cars over your lifetime. It was paying $600 a month on them, and those cars are not worth anything. You probably even had the cars anymore. But if you would have took that same money and invested it, you would have had about $2 million over 30 years. Yeah.
Where were you 30 years ago? Okay, listen, if you guys have questions, type your questions in the comments. I know that you're liking, but type your questions in the comments. Please, he's here to help us. He is here to help us. Okay, so let's talk about this growth stock mutual fund.
Okay.
A lot of times we have been told, or it's a mentality, that I may not have enough money to invest.
You can start off investing with $1.
Okay.
You could start investing with $1. So, you just have to like I said, you got to sit down and look through your budget and find the money. You have the money. You just got to be able to just depart with all the wonders of life to save the money.
Okay, so how do I know what stock to choose?
I would just do mutual funds. That'll be the safer way to go. Now, if you get into investing into individual stocks, I do it. It's risky. That's something I would say do once you have experience. But honestly, you'll get more wealth just investing into mutual funds. You'll be a lot better off.
And where would you go to invest in mutual funds? Do you need?
You can open up a brokerage account. You can go somewhere like Fidelity, Vanguard. Any kind of brokerage place, you can do that. But you want to invest into what you want to do is when you look at the mutual funds, you want to look at the funds you want to find are the ones that's going to give you an average rate of return of 12% over a 10-year period of time. So a good one I would say is say VT Sachs. That's the Vanguard Total Stock Market Fund. That's like my favorite fund. So I would look that up, VTSAX. You can look it up on Google or whatever. And
Victor, Tango, Sierra, Alpha, X-Ray.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Going back to the military, huh? Yeah. So and then look at the 10-year period of average of return, the 10-year return. And if it averages out 4%, it meets the criteria that you should invest in.
Okay, so we have a question. What are mutual funds? They said, sorry, I'm late. It's okay. What are mutual? Someone asked a question. What are mutual funds?
Basically, it's versus investing into one stock. It's several stocks basically grouped into one. That's inside of a fund that's controlled by fund manager, and it's I would say it's more hands off than just being in a stock, because you don't have to watch it every day like a stock that you invest into one stock. If that one stock goes out of business, your money's gone. But you're in a mutual fund, it would take every stock in that fund to crash for your money to be gone, and the likelihood of that happening is 0.
So with this mutual fund, when you invest your money, do you just invest it, forget about it, leave it there, or are you?
Yes, set it and forget it. Don't be worried about it. Because the thing is, when you invest for long term, so you have to just set it up automatically is the best way to do it, and just let it go. You're not gonna gain wealth overnight. It's not gonna be an overnight thing, but you could sit down and get you a compound interest calculator and basically figure out the time period it's going to take you to get to where you want to be. If you sit down and say, I need $1 million to retire in 10 years, you can sit down and get you a compound interest calculator and type in there, I want to have $1 million, and then plug in what you got to put in there every month. Now, if you only have 10 years to do that, the payments that you're going to put in are going to have to be very large, because the earlier you start, the better off you'll be. If you start off at 25, you'll be in good shape.
Goodness gracious. Listen, This is some great information. These are the conversations that we need to have. So many times we are trying to invest. We're trying to start businesses. We want to leave a legacy for our children, and we just are not well versed or experienced. We don't have enough information, but this is the information we have. Share this video. Share this video. Tag someone. Let them know that they can watch the replay on YouTube in our Forgiver Conference group, as well as on the Willing Workers page, Renita Danielle's page, and on my personal page. This isn't about likes and clicks. This is about a people, us becoming who we're supposed to be. And you can't do anything when you're always financially depressed and financially insecure, when you're always struggling to make ends meet. Very hard to be creative, innovative, be genius when you're always worried about where your next meal is going to come from. So this is information we want to share. Dr. Peters, he is here. He is giving this class completely free. He is giving us all of this knowledge. This is information that people pay thousands of dollars to sit in webinars and conferences to get this information. So please share this. If you have a page, share it on your page. Do whatever you need to do, but we need to get this information out. Now, something that you said, mutual funds versus individual stocks. Right. Would you say that we should start? You said we should start with the mutual funds, and then we can grow with experience to the individual stock. Should we invest in our own company stock if we're working for a company? Is that a smart move to invest in
now, if you have your 401k at your job, you should definitely do whatever the job matches, because if you don't, you're giving back free money. So if the job matches, 5% or 6%, you definitely want to do the employer match. Yes. Because that's free money.
That's free money.
Right.
Okay. And you take that with you.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Okay. Yes. But what a lot of people do is that, they leave jobs, they cash out their 401k, or they find some reason to cash it out. You should just take it and roll it over to when you go to your next job. Just keep rolling it over. Because the thing is that, when you retire, what a lot of people don't understand is that you can't always count on Social Security. You need to get to a point where Social Security is not even a part of your vocabulary. If it's there, it's there. If it's not, so what? I'm already secure. But you need to set yourself up to be that way.
Okay. Listen, we had asked the question a little earlier about a budget, and I got you sidetracked a little bit. Can you go back and revisit that? What exactly is a budget? I know we should have a written one, but what is a budget?
Basically, a budget is like a SOP. Just a written plan for you to follow every month. Just write your stuff down, and like me, I keep my budget on me everywhere I go. I keep it in my phone. But I know it in my head because I do the same things almost every month. But you have to have that SOP with anything you do in life.
Okay. Do you budget what you're going to save or what you're going to invest?
Yep. Everything's broken down. I have it broke down what I save. I have it broke down what I give. I have it broke down to a vacation budget. I have everything I do is broken down into different budgets.
So this seems like it takes discipline, but it also takes organization and consistency.
Right. But it also makes you sit down and look at what you have going on. Because see, some of the people, they probably just get paid and don't have anything written down. They just got money going everywhere. But when you actually put it on paper, you visualize it. You're like, man, I'm all over the place. But now you have a written record of where your finances are going. So it works out for you when you write it down.
What do you have going on? Oh my goodness, this is good. This is so good. So if I live paycheck to paycheck, you talked a little bit about it earlier. And right now I feel as though, because I haven't made the sacrifices, I haven't cut anything out, that I don't see how I can save money, let alone invest money. What would you, as maybe, I don't know if you can do this because I don't want anybody to hold anybody responsible, but in general, what would be the first the first thing you would advise someone to do? I really want to grow, but I'm paycheck to paycheck. I don't have money to invest. You know, my debt is out of control. What would be the first thing you would suggest?
I would have to just say, write everything down and see what can go. I mean, if it's a car, maybe you can sell it and get rid of the payment. Um, and if it's expenses and stuff like that, like if it's just luxury things you have, like maybe you got to cut the cable off. Maybe you go from a paid plan cell phone, maybe you go to like a Boost mobile phone or something. I mean, the cuts you got to make are painful, but you have to make them to get ahead. Maybe you eat out a lot. Maybe you get your hair done every week. Maybe you can go get your hair done every other week or once a month. Maybe get your nails done. Stop doing that. I mean, you just have to just go through that budget and see where's your money going. I mean, there's certain things that you just can't stop doing, like, you know, paying your rent or your mortgage. But, you know, you might have bought too much house, or you might have too expensive of an apartment. Maybe you can go get a cheaper apartment. So you just have to go through and see where you can make those cuts at to free up that income.
So the first thing we have to do is make room. No matter how you look at it, we have got to make some cuts and free up.
Painful cuts, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you might not go out and eat for 12 months. I don't know, maybe 2 years. I don't know. You might not get to go on vacation for a year or two, but it's all about how bad you want to get there. You know, because people like to make up excuses and stuff like, you know, well, I work hard, I should be able to do this and do that. You know, I get that, but you know, you just have to have that. You have to just delay gratification to get to where you want to be. And that's just a very hard thing to do. Yeah.
I love that term, delayed gratification, because we are such a microwave generation now. We want instant everything. We don't even want to wait for the food. Now we got to put that whole chicken in there, and 15 minutes later, that chicken is done. You know, because we don't want to wait on anything. But if we delay gratification or the need now, long term, we'll be better off.
You'll be better off, a whole lot better off.
So
in the earlier you start, the better off you'll be.
So the earlier
you start, the better off you'll be. And the thing is too, you know, your children are a lot of times a reflection of you. So if you don't have your finances together and those kids grew up in the house, well, they just saw how mom and dad did things. 9 times 10, they're going to be just how you were. So if you don't have anything, they probably not going to have anything. But also too, what you got to ask yourself is this too. In a day, in your every day of your life, think about this. Who do you talk to every day? Who do you talk to every day? The last 5 people you talk to, 9 times out of 10, your life will be no better than them. So you got to think about that. Who have you talked to today? The last 5 people you talked to today or the day before, 9 times out of 10, your life will be no better than those 5 people you talk to. So if you're talking to broke people all day, well, you're probably going to be broke. Yeah.
Wait, I had to pass out. Listen, I love y'all, but if you're broke, I can't talk to you no more. Okay.
Yeah, you have to change your circle up. You have to change your circle, because the thing is that if I'm broke, how can I help you get somewhere or to a level that I haven't got to yet? You have to change up your surroundings. And, you know, like for myself, you know, every day I talk to several people that have net worths over 7 figures every day.
Okay. So listen, this we're gonna have to get you back on the schedule, because this is too much for just one. It's too much for us to just absorb for one. Maybe we got to do a conference. We got to put something. I got to get with you, and we got to fly you in. We got to come out. We got to get this, because this is great information. So you said the last 5 people that you speak to, you are no better than them. And this is not a judgment. This is just basically looking around and seeing the company that you keep.
Right.
So
I mean, think about how much time you spend on the phone, or how you communicate with people, wasting time talking about a bunch of nothing. You know, people call you talking about people, or talking about this, talking about that, nothing positive, nothing productive. That's just wasted time. You know, if you take an hour a day and you put it into something that you have a passion for, like I have a passion for real estate. So I put like an hour, maybe an hour a week into real estate. And I mean, last year alone in passive income, I probably made about $300,000 just in passive income of putting an hour of my time into this real estate. Because I have a passion for real estate. So whatever you have a passion for, you know, monetize it. Versus just spending time on the phone or whatever you're doing, wasting time talking to a bunch of nobodies about nothing.
You know, Dr. Peters, this is going to a whole nother realm, because in order to be able to monetize your passion, you have to know your passion. Therefore, you got to know who you are.
Well, you have to figure out what your why is. I mean, you have to figure out your why. It's almost like, you know, I'll take it back to a relationship thing. You know, if you're dating somebody and you sit down on your date or whatever, you should ask the gentleman and you should ask the lady, where do you want to be in 5 years? And the thing is that if they can't just tell you that without stuttering and thinking, they don't have a plan. That means you should probably get up and just walk away. Because if you sit there at that table, you're going to probably waste the next 5 years of your life with that person. You have to know your why in life. You know, that's why in life you have the 99% and you have the 1%.
Who's the 99?
A lot of people. Yeah.
Everybody that's listening to you.
Right. Yeah. You'll be surprised at people. They just walk around here, just don't have no clue. I mean, they have no clue of financial literacy or anything. Just out. And it's really dangerous.
I was gonna say, I think you know, I gotta go Bible just a little bit. Let me go Bible just a little bit, and then we'll go back. So the Bible tells us in Hebrews 11:1, now faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things
not seen.
Listen, so if you have no hope, you're just treading water, you're just out here walking aimlessly,
right?
Then you know you have given up. You don't even make an effort anymore because you have lost hope. And now I'm hanging out with you, and now my hope is dwindling away.
Right. Yeah.
You know, and then we're blaming circumstances, the man, all of these other reasons why we can't make it. But there's
more opportunities here in America than any other place in the world. And it don't have anything to do with skin color or anything like that. It all has to come down to you just putting forth the effort and want to do it. You can do anything I hear you want to do. You know, anything. You just got to just put forth effort to want to do it. Nobody can hold you back but yourself. If you want to blame somebody, look in the mirror. That's who you need to blame for where you're at in life. I don't care if you're a felon or you got a learning disability. You can do anything in this world you want to do.
Well, listen, we want to do.
Right.
We want to do. And okay, so in starting to pay off your debt, is it true? Should you pay off your largest? Should you pay off your smallest? You know,
you want to start off to the I want to say you want to do your pay off your high interest stuff first. You know, you want to pay off anything with the high interest and then work it down is the best way to do it. But if you start off with the smallest and work your way to the largest, that's a good way to do it too, because you can actually see progress. You see more progress like it. Because you start off with the biggest, it takes a little time to get the biggest down. But if you pay off a small credit card, then you work up to the next one and the third one, now you can take the additional money you saved up and make bigger payments working on the other debts you have. Like a snowball effect.
Like a snowball, okay.
Right.
So let me ask this. A lot of times when you have bad credit, you'll start receiving these high interest rate credit cards.
Right.
Telling you to rebuild your credit. What's the thought process on that?
I mean, my thing is with credit, I really get to a point where you don't even have to really need credit. Because the thing is, if you have no debt, and you have no debt, you don't really need your credit like that. Because the thing is, once you get through paying off your debt, you can start building you some wealth where you can just go and start paying cash and stuff. Because the thing, if you keep financing stuff, you're never going to get wealthy like that. You know, you have to get to a point, because you know that debt keeps your income tied up because you're making payments on it. You know what I mean? So my thing is that anything I have to make a payment on for myself, I've built up passive income to pay for that kind of stuff, not my earned income.
Not earned income.
My earned income that comes from your job and stuff, that's for investing. My passive income is for my toys.
I know that. Listen,
Right.
So say you are like a lot of people, you're a veteran, you're retired, disabled. What do you do with those extra checks?
If they're not going to be obligated to anything, to a bill or something, I would invest them. I would just invest them. If they're not, if you don't need it to pay, debt that you already have.
Mm-hmm.
But if I did have to pay debt, I would figure out a way to pay those debts off faster so I could start investing my money so I could build the wealth.
Okay.
Because you can't build wealth if you have debt. You just can't do it.
You can't build wealth if you have debt.
Right.
Okay.
Like I shouldn't come to your house and you got full cars outside. Like you can't make me believe you need full cars. Everybody can just get one car. You know what I mean? It ain't got to be the newest, because the thing is, like, you should be putting back 15% of your income for savings. You need to have a 6 to 9 month emergency fund.
Hold on. When you started throwing out terms, stats.
Right.
We got 15% of your.
Yeah, you want to save about 15% of your income every month, investing into an investment. Maybe it's your 401k at work or your own personal investments. You want to be putting about 15% of your income into investment, but also too
into a savings. What about a savings account?
Well, no, we'll get to that in a minute.
Okay.
As far as your savings go, you want to have a 6 to 9 month emergency fund for your savings, and that's 6 to 9 months of your yearly salary. But before you can do any of this stuff, you want to have your debt paid off. But while you're paying off your debt, you want to at least have $1,000 in an emergency fund. But that emergency fund is very important because the thing is that emergency fund is going to stop you from running to that credit card when something happens. Oh, I need tires. Oh, my engine blew up. My air conditioner broke. Well, if you got 6 to 9 months put up, you don't need a credit card. You need to get to a point where you're not even thinking about credit no more. Credit is the devil.
Okay.
If you're not buying a house or something like that, or the occasional car, you don't need credit. Stop financing stuff. That's not good. You have to get out of that stuff.
Financing keeps us in debt. Yes. Okay.
Right.
So you're busting a lot of myths, a lot of things that we have been taught or we've learned or whatever. Now, is an IRA a good investment?
Yeah, IRA is a good investment. I mean, everybody should, a lot of times with your 401k plan, it has an IRA option on it. Or if you're like if you have a business, you don't have a job, you can probably do like I think it's called like a self-directed IRA you can do as a business owner. But you have to have something for retirement. Because like I said, you shouldn't just be waiting around at 62 hoping that, I'm just going to get on Social Security. I mean, that's a poor man's mentality, poor man's way of thinking. You have to stop thinking about the system taking care of you and figure out how to take care of yourself.
Okay. Now, I'm a viewer and I'm already in my 60s. I'm retired. I'm living off Social Security or disability or whatever it is. How does this apply to me? How does this help me?
I mean, at that point in time, if you're already retired in your 60s, I mean, at that point, I hate to say it, but time is pretty much up at that point because you don't have that much time. You don't have no more earning power, and then you're too old to take risk and stuff like that. So when you're that old, it's probably it is what it is at that point.
So you wouldn't advise them to do the mutual funds?
I mean, you can, but you're already retired. You already
Right.
retired, and you probably need your income. And then if you're 60s or whatever, I mean, it's just you need that. You need to have time to grow your money, and at that point, you probably need everything you have, because you got to think, once you get to that retirement age, you're gonna have expenses. Your expenses go up. You got health issues come about, so you're probably not going to have the extra money to invest like that. Because what you got to understand is that when you're working, if you don't have, when you retire, whatever your earning income is when you were working in your prime, if you don't have about 80% of your income when you retire, you will become insolvent in retirement.
80%.
You need to have about 80% of your income in retirement, not to have to worry about going back to work. But a lot of people don't think like that. They just work for 30 years and they spend everything they make, and then they look for it to be somebody else's problem to take care of them, which is just Social Security.
Yep.
Because the thing is, if you save $1 million, at an average rate of return of 12%, that $1 million will generate $120,000 a year of interest every year for doing nothing. That's just off 1 million. And there's no reason why a married couple couldn't do that.
Okay, so let's, because we are about 10 minutes out from wrapping up. Jesus, the time. Where did the time go?
Right.
Talk to me about, okay, married couple, or yeah, we're only gonna say married couple because this is a save show.
Okay, right.
So, married couple, living together, 2 incomes coming in.
Right.
And you already told us we should be living off of 1 income.
Yes,
okay,
that's what I would. Yes.
We need to cut back on debt and expenses.
Yes.
See what we can get rid of right off the bat.
Right.
Now, we've done all of that. We're invested in the mutual funds. How, because listen, I would be lying if I didn't say in my stocks every day I'm like,
right.
You know what I mean? It went up 20 cents. So what's a general time frame where you should start seeing your money work?
I mean, you can see your money working. I mean, I would say you can look at every 6 to 12 months. So look at every quarter. I mean, there's going to be times where it goes up, it's going to go down, but it's all about the average rate of return, because you got to think about it like this. When you make those investments, let's say this year, the returns were 20%, but then next year was coronavirus, so it made 0%. What's the average rate of return? That's a question.
Okay.
I'm asking you.
You said the first year was 20.
Right, and then this year here you had coronavirus, so let's say you make 0. So what's your average rate of return?
Your average is going to be 0 times 20. 20.
No, it'd be 10, because you made 20. You made 20. Yeah. So your average rate of return, right? So even though you had a bad year, you still averaged a 10% return with the bad year, because in the market things happen, like coronavirus, the housing market, things happen. That's why you want to look at the average rate of return over 10 years, because when you look at those charts, when you put up those investments, a lot of things happen over 10 years. We might go to war, all kind of stuff happens. So if that fund produces a rate of return over 12% over a 10-year period of time, history normally repeats itself, right?
Okay.
And that's what we go off of when we invest our money into things.
Okay. So I'm sure someone's asking, and that someone might be me. Right. Do you do personal financial advising? Like, do you look at a portfolio and say, this is what I suggest? Of course, not saying free. Right. Is that a service that you provide?
I'm not a certified. I should have read. Yeah, I'm not a certified advisor, and everything I say is a matter of opinion. So I don't work with people personally like that. But when you call me anytime, I do anything for you. Yeah, but individual people, no, I don't. I would recommend people, go to like Vanguard or Fidelity, or you can probably look up a certified advisor in your area and go talk to them. And the thing is, but when you go talk to them, have goals in place. Like, I would like to have $1 million or $2 million or whatever you want. Have an idea of where you want to be. So when you go sit down and talk to the advisor, he can set out you a plan. But the thing is, he can set out you a plan, but the plan is only going to be as good as you. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? I mean, I could take you to water, I can't make you drink. You know, so
Right.
you have to go home and implement this plan with your wife, your family, and stuff to make this stuff work. And I'm telling you, it's, you know, it's hard. I mean, it's hard at first, because especially when you have gotten older and you start getting accustomed to having nice stuff. Sometimes you just got to cut it back, but you got to think about the bigger picture. You got to think about, like for myself, you know, my biggest thing is, you know, passing down generational wealth to my kid. I only have one kid, but you know, she don't have to worry about getting student loans, and things like her school will be paid for. You know, being able to pay for her wedding, being able to pay for her to have a down payment for a new home, being able to bless her, you know, with a car or whatever she needs in life. I mean, to me, that's wealth. You know,
That's
I've
well.
gotten to a point now where I've done the dumb stuff, you know, the cars and all that kind of stuff. I'm almost about done with that stuff. But now it's more about, you know, being able to give back to my family, you know, helping my mom out and stuff like that. So to me, that's wealth for me at this point in life.
That is amazing. So,
Right.
so amazing. You have really shed so much light on this financial thing, this money thing. When I was doing my research about the different topics, one of the things that I read was money is the number, or income is the number one reason for divorce.
Yeah, it is.
You know,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Right.
And and money is the number one stressor. So with
But
all
it
of this, go ahead.
but it goes back to what I was saying, is that, you know, so many people, you know, I hate to say it like this, but when you get married, it's almost like going to a business type thing in a sense, because you know, you got to get past, oh, he look good or she fine. Like when you start maturing and stuff,
Hmm.
you that's probably like the last thing you think about, thinking about when you find a mate. You know, you have to sit down and see where this person wants to be. And you know, if you guys are not on the same path or have the same goals or vision, that's probably not a good place for you to be. You know, enjoy your meal or your one date, and just it just didn't work out. Maybe y'all can just stay friends or something. But when you find somebody, you know, to be successful in a relationship, you guys have to be on the same page.
Definitely have to be
Right,
on the same page. Even if you're
right,
not on the same income, like you
right,
said, you have to have the
right.
same goals, like
You gotta have the
goals.
same goals. Right, right,
Okay, let's keep it real. I'm a woman, you're a man.
right,
One
right,
person is probably better than the other person in finance.
right.
Should there be
Yeah.
one person handle it? Should you both handle it? How does that work
No, well, I
usually?
mean, the thing is, in a marriage, both people need to be involved in any decisions going in the house. I don't, you know, it shouldn't be no dictatorship. So, you know, you sit your wife down if the man is a strong person, and then y'all make agreements on the budget, the things that you guys are going to do. But one thing I do is I give myself an allowance. So, you know, give your wife an allowance, you get an allowance, and that's what you have to do, spend for the month on whatever frivolous stuff you want to do. So, you know, if you want to go get that bag or whatever you want to do, maybe you got to
Hmm.
put your allowance up for 2 or 3 months to get the bag. But the thing is that every dollar that comes in the house, it has a place to go. But the thing is that when I deploy my dollars out, you know, when they come back home, I want them to bring friends with them. I don't want them to
That's
come back with nothing. You know what I mean?
like alone.
Right.
Right.
You know, yeah. But
That
also, but like I said, but it's important to have your spouse included in those decisions. Like that's important. You don't want to be doing stuff and not the other person not know what's going on.
do you swipe your card without, do you just, how you're out somewhere, you see a soda, let me swipe.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on it depends on your discipline. Like, you know, some people need to pay cash for stuff because the thing is, if they swipe a card, the credit card, they won't pay it off. They'll just leave a balance on there. If you're disciplined enough to handle that, you can go that route. If you're not, whatever your allowance is, have it in cash. So you know when that cash is gone, you don't have any more money. Or you can
That's
just
it.
divvy it up. You can divvy it up per the week or however you do it. But if you have the discipline to be able to handle a credit card, you can swipe and just pay it off every month. But that takes a lot of discipline because it's so easy to say, oh, you know, my credit card bill is $2,000, but I can just pay 500 and keep that 15. And next thing you know, you got that credit card bill, and it's just adding up every month. Because the thing about life, something always happens.
Something
Something
always happens.
always happens.
And
Somebody
so
calling you, it's a family problem, and sometimes you got to cut family off. you can't help everybody.
That's right.
You know.
Yeah, it's like I always reference it to the airplane. When you get on the plane, the stewardess, when they're giving their safety briefing, they always say, make sure you put your oxygen mask on first. Because you can't
Right.
help anybody if you're dead. So if you're
Right.
financially dead, you
Right.
can't help anybody. So you have to be smart. And one
Right.
thing that I've learned over the years is if they didn't care about their credit or their money, they're
They ain't gonna
not
care
going to.
about yours. Right. Yep.
So the answer is
Yep.
no.
The answer is no. Yeah. The ATM machine is closed. Yes.
Right. I
Right.
love you, but the answer
Yes.
is no.
Right. Because you got to
Ab-
worry about, because you have to worry about your household, your
yes,
kids, and all that stuff. You know, but you can't help them if you're not where you want to be.
that's right.
Because
That
at
is
some
right.
at some point you're gonna want to retire. You know, you're gonna want to retire, but you want to be comfortable in retirement.
Right. Not
You know,
worrying.
not
Yeah.
worrying because that is
Respect.
you can be depressed with the debts and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the heavy
Absolutely.
depressed. Yeah.
Absolutely. Dr. Peters, this has been a great class. Thank you. Thank you so much for your time. I know time is money.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. But I made the time. Like I'm getting ready to go out of town in the morning, so I got to go in here and pack my bag. I got to go to a car show this
okay.
weekend. So yeah.
I so appreciate it. Thank you so much. Please do share this with your page. Is there anything, any parting words you would like to leave us with on tonight?
Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. I'll go. I'll go. Biblical. Do not be misled. Bad company corrupts good habits. 1 Corinthians 15:11. You are
Yes.
either, huh? What do you say now? You are
I
either, huh?
Oh no, I was just saying yes.
Okay. You are either on the way or in the way. Tune out the critics. Uh, what you hear in the first 20 minutes of waking up dictates your day. You
Mm,
want to live a life of passion and be happy. Leave dead people alone.
woo,
The biggest challenge you will have in life is you. So just remember that.
that was good. Please drop
Right.
that in the chat when or if you get a chance, as soon as you get a chance, because that was so good and so rich and a great way for us to leave out. Thank you so much. Have safe travels. I pray that God blesses you and keeps you. Have His angels encamped all around you. Thank
All
you
right.
again, and I will be in contact with you
Okay.
really soon.
All right. Send
Okay.
me a link. Send me
Thank
a link and I'll drop it on my page.
Okay, thank you so
Okay.
much.
All
All
right. God
right.
bless. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, directors, what an amazing show that was. Listen, yet again, I don't know if you're watching directly or if you're catching the replay. Whatever it is worth, you are worth the investment. You are worth the investment. We have to become financially literate. You have to. We need that passive income, residual income. We need several streams of income. We are tired of working hard for someone else to get rich while we get crumbs and pennies. So I encourage you, think about it, review your portfolio, go and speak to a financial advisor, a certified counselor, start cutting back, start deleting some things, and find out exactly what it is you need to do so that you can become the next millionaire. Not so that you can brag, but so that you can leave a legacy for your children, your family, and so that you can be a blessing because we are blessed to be a blessing. So I thank you all. Thank you so much for supporting. Thank you. Follow Dr. Peters at Joseph Peters. Follow him. I'm telling you, you will see him. I'm trying to get another financial advisor to come up here to talk to us a little bit more. Different perspective, same goal for us to become everything that God predestined us to become. You think houses paved with gold or streets paved with gold, mansions is only for heaven? No, he said, I came so that you can have life and have it more abundantly. So he wants us to live abundant life here on this earth. Now, the choice is up to us. So I thank you all again. Thank you for those that stuck in there the whole time. Thank you, YouTube. Thank you, Facebook. Thank you for Giver Conference Group. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and thank you, willing workers. As always, we are blessed to be a blessing. I love you to life, and I will see you next time. You are in the right place with your girl, Dani Direct.
Woo!